Mhm. Hanap Yorina. So nabasa ko parang ano lang siya yung movie, ganun. Movie game. Story based lang. Ewan ko. Nasa... Kasabang pa. Kalakala ko nasa ano lang bunga. Ano to? Bulak-bulak. May natids. Journal.
A lot of this isn't going to make sense to you, and I'm sorry about that. I'm just going to start at the beginning, with the house.
Gubat.
I lived here until I was 11, but I wasn't allowed inside half the rooms.
Mayroon ba? Ito.
Inside the mailbox were bills from 7 years ago, marked urgent, open immediately. I hadn't been back since my brother Lewis's funeral.
Patay.
In her will, my mother left me a key, but didn't tell me what it unlocked. Maybe she thought I'd know.
After
Or
story
she thought
yata
the
ito.
mystery would be enough to bring me back.
Lagi yata yung webcam. Yung ano.
No one had driven this way in a long time, but I saw a few hoof prints.
Medyo. Okay naman. Hindi kaya malaglag. Walang talon. Uy, may usa. Suplado naman na ito.
The truth is, even after I inherited the house, I never thought I'd come back to it. But now I had questions about my family that only the house knew the answers to.
Creepy naman yan. Ano ba ito? Horror?
The house was exactly like I remembered it, the way I'd been dreaming about it.
Horror ba ito? Ganda ng music score.
As a child, the house made me uncomfortable in a way I couldn't put into words.
Ito, nakidnap yung kapatid. Missing.
Now, as a 17-year-old, I knew exactly what those words were. I was afraid of the house.
Marami kasi nangyari. Susi.
I hoped the key might unlock the front door. It didn't. Looking in, I felt like the house itself had been waiting for me.
Arte naman. Papasok mo ng bahay eh. Okay, nakyating ko yan. Meron kaya? Wala. Sa likod. Takot naman to.
Crawling through the doggy door used to be a lot easier when I was 11. first time in years,
Tatakot ako eh.
I felt like I was home.
Pero yung music score, parang hindi naman siya horror. May ganun ba?
But instead of a family, there were just memories of one.
Grabe naman pinag-ugasan. Ang linis oh. Apple pie.
Like how after Louis started working at the cannery, we all got sick of eating salmon. Except our cat, Molly.
Sosyal, salmon ng sa pusa. Ako nga tilapia lang eh.
The table was still a wreck from the night we left.
Ba't umisakit sila?
It was like a bomb had gone off, killing everyone but sparing the furniture. Nothing in the house looked abnormal. There was just too much of it, like a smile with too many teeth.
Naghahanap pa ang gamit, baka may matagdag sa kwento. Violin. Ito ba kanina? Ito nga kanina. Buksan kaya ito sa labas.
Edie told me once that every
library
Finch who
pala
ever
to.
lived is buried somewhere in the library.
Ano yun?
After Milton disappeared, Mom sealed up all the bedrooms. Then Edie retaliated and drilled peepholes.
Takti naman to, nakatakot. Ano to? May save ba to? Ito muna tayo.
Barbara was a child star for 2 years, until America grew out of it.
Ano yun? Ayoko na taruin to. 1944 to 1960. Kailan pa ba to? Ano nga ba itong laro na to? Hindi, mamaya na yan. Mas may nabuti ko na lumayo sa monitor. Gawin.
My Grandpa Sam spent 7 years sharing a room with his dead brother, Calvin.
Ed.
The last time I was
Sorry.
in Edith Sr.'s room, I was 10 and she was painting my portrait.
Gregory.
As a kid, I just assumed every house had
Wait.
peepholes and sealed rooms you weren't allowed
Yung
inside
bata.
of.
Yung bata. Bata. Isang taon lang. 1977. Katakot naman mga picture na ito ah. Ito yun. Yung
Whenever
child
people
star.
ask me about my family, the first thing they always want to know about is Barbara. Mom must have locked the third floor stairs on the night we left.
Saan ang pupunta? May kailangan nang hanapin. susi. Susi. Ito.
I spent a lot of time playing in Great Uncle Walter's room. Louis told me there were secret passages, but I never believed him.
Ito siguro yun.
Turns out, my mom was really good at keeping secrets.
Wow.
Now it was time to find out what my mom had been afraid of.
Saan to ate?
Reading this, maybe it sounds like I had a plan. But I had no idea what was behind that door. Just like I had no idea where all this was gonna lead.
Nag-auto-save siya. Molly. Ito't tumapoy yan eh. Yan na to. Maya ka na. Buksan.
I grew up looking at Molly's room through the peephole. Molly's gerbil had a tiny bedroom with its own even tinier gerbil cage.
May sikreto na naman. Ano ba yun? Dito ba galing? Shit po, tapin naman. Kala ko tao eh. Paano makakalabas? Uy.
Being inside for the first time, I felt like I'd stepped behind a painting.
Kaya sa libro. Saan ako dapat? Saan ako dadaan? Takti namang costume yan. Kung sa electric pan. Init eh. Ito. Visit.
December 13th, 1947. Dear Diary, I'll be gone soon, but I wanted to tell somebody about what's gonna happen. It started when Mom sent me to bed without dinner. I woke up and I was starving, so I looked around for something to eat.
Hamster.
The gerbil food was dry, but I didn't mind it.
Huh? Babae ako.
Mom, can I come out now?
Sweetheart, it's late. Go to sleep.
Ba't kaya?
I kept eating and eating.
Pa naman toothpaste? Kakainin yan.
I ate a lot of things that night. Then I heard chirping outside my window. It
Kainin
was
mo
a
rin yung
barn
ibon.
swallow going back to her nest.
Kainin mo itlog.
I reached out for her.
Alok.
And suddenly,
Uy, ano yun?
I was a cat.
Ha? The fuck? Kainin kita. Paakyat? Saan na pupunta? Ayun. Oh. Lamagin ko lang yung sensitivity.
I tried to be quiet, but the bird was really scared.
Oh. Oh. Ano nga? Kainin kita eh. Oh, panis. Ang dilim na mga nito. Yan. Saan na ibon? Kaya pala kahit ano kinakain mo po sa akin.
I jumped and I almost got her.
Saan na siya?
I could tell she was getting really tired. Now I was up in the big tree. I promised Dad I wouldn't climb it anymore. All I cared about was eating that mama bird.
Sabi ni kakainin mo rin eh. Paano?
I gobbled her up,
Kainin mo.
and suddenly I was an owl.
Wow.
First, all I heard was the wind. Then I heard little teeth nibbling in the grass.
Okay, di siya horror.
Rabbits.
Rabbits. Kainin mo yun. Kuneho, adobo yan mamaya. Yun. Ay, ano ba dapat? Kiklik ko yun? Ah, okay. Kiklik yun. Yun! Kuneho!
I imagined his face looking up and seeing
Ay,
mine
pangit
through
ng
my
graphics.
talons. I swallowed him up, and I didn't chew one bit. Then I flew off to find something bigger.
Wow. Kat! Yan. Saan yun?
A mama
Naririnig ko.
rabbit.
Yun. Kuha ka rin, mama rabbit.
She was almost too big to carry. I
Yan.
started choking, but I couldn't stop eating.
Sarap ng rabbit, di ba?
And suddenly, I was a shark.
Uy, grabe. Paano mabubuhay niyan? papalag-palag ako para punta sa tubig. Yeah. Uy!
I rolled off a cliff and
Kala ko
into the ocean.
masasagasaan ako.
Now, I was hungrier than ever.
Oo, kain. Mga pusa. Roar. Sana may tao. Yun na lang kainin ko. Kaya rabbit ulit. Yun. Yun o. Ayun, sa baba. Uy, kainin mo yun.
I wanted fat, juicy seals.
Hirap naman kontrolin nito. Uy, isang na. Nawala tuloy. Uy, ayaw mo kainin. Diyos kong controls to. Sana. Puro naman kasi daon-daon. Pating ako, pating. Uy, kain. Yun.
I tore off her flipper and it tasted really good.
Oo, sarap. Huli natin yan.
I grabbed on tight.
Yan.
But I was so hungry, I jumped out of the water. When I
Huh?
opened my eyes, everything had changed.
Ano na ako? Ano yung mahaba na yan? Ay, ano ako? Octopus? Ahas? Ano ko?
Now I was a monster and I smelled people everywhere.
Ano ko, karaken? Oh, tentacles sama. Sipin mo ganito, tingnan mo to.
I was big, but I moved real quiet.
Kainin mo yan, kainin mo. Yan, kainin mo. No, ipit mo naman. Isang lamunan mo lang. Ito yung gusto ko, yung ako yung mga ngain. Mga
I
luma pa
wanted
to.
to stop, but also I didn't.
No, ay mga manginginom kayo, kainin ko kayo. Ba?
His belly was rusty, his belly was rusty, his belly was rusty, razor.
Lasing. Okay, kainin kita. Paano makapunta dyan? Ito?
After the last passenger, I was still hungry. And across the water, we smelled something new. Something I had to have, so I swam towards it. I slithered onto the sand, and the good smell went into an old pipe.
Ibang mabilis ba to? Bagal eh. Mandudukot ako ng puwet. Wala mag-CR. Nabuting ko yung itlog nyo. Yeah. Kala ko pa. Ano to? Shit, kakainin
I got
ko.
closer and closer.
Oh shit. Balik tayo sa kanina.
All of my stomach started growling. And suddenly, I was me again. I held my breath for a long time, but I couldn't hear anything. I think it's waiting for me to fall asleep. But it's not going to wait much longer. It needs to be, and we both know I will be delicious.
Kung kakainin ka po sa... Ay, pero umaga na. Shit, ba't nanginginig? Ay, bug lang pala. Or totoo.
I'm not sure if I believed all of that, but I'm sure Edie would have.
Kawawa naman, kinain siya ng monster. So, saan ako ngayon? Hindi ko pa rin mabuksan to. Diyos ko, Maria.
I can't describe it, but I felt like some part of Molly was still here.
Yung ano niya. Ayun yung tentacle kaya pala may ganyan.
This will be obvious later, but my mom never told me any of these stories. Edie would have, but Mom didn't like bringing up the past. Though, when we adopted a stray kitten, she was the one who named it Molly. I spent a lot of time in Great-Grandma Edie's room. Louis died a week before we left, but Edie had already started to memorialize him. Her room was like a museum. For 500 years, the Finches have been famous throughout Norway for their fortune and misfortune.
Okay. Next.
Odin Finch buries the latest victims of the family curse, his wife Ingeborg and their newborn son, Johan.
So, ilang gen sila ng...
On January
Sumpay.
7th, 1937, he set sail with his family and his house, hoping to leave the curse behind.
Para maputol.
But 40-foot waves off the coast of Washington send the house and Odin to the bottom of the sea. Odin's daughter Edie, with husband Sven and baby Molly, step ashore on their new home, Orcas Island.
Umalis nga para matigil yung sumpa. Nagparami naman.
Odin Finch is the first to be buried in the new family cemetery. His daughter Edie is already dreaming of a new Finch house.
Tapos na. Ay, paano ba tapusin to? Okay. Babak mo lang pala.
Whatever's wrong with this family, it goes back a long ways. When Edie told people Sven was killed by a dragon, she could also have said he was building a dragon-shaped slide that collapsed. She could have, but she didn't. Even in her 90s, sometimes Edie seemed a lot younger than my mother.
Oh, sosyal. Nakakarpet ang CR. Siaw.
The only trace Grandpa Sam's first wife Kay left on the house was the pink bathroom.
May pinto, ano to? Kwarto rin?
It was a pretty big trace.
Daming pills, oh. Pangyamete kudasai. Uy.
There's a secret in this bathroom. It's in the last place you would look. It isn't in the cupboard. It's hidden in this book.
Wow. Napakalupit mo, pre. Ano yun? Uy, 1951? 19... Ba't isa-isang taon lang sila?
Sven gave Sam an old
Isa
camera he'd
46, isa
refurbished.
47.
He never put it down.
Ba? Mirror shot. Gusto na pala yun noon eh.
From the paintings on the wall, it was clear my brother Milton had been here before me.
Ba't may...
I knew Grandpa Sam had a twin. And that he never talked about him.
Sosyal. Pero may daan pa sa taas kanina, yung space.
The passages were a pretty tight fit. They'd obviously been built for smaller hands and bellies.
Ah, ito yung labasan kanina. Pusang gala naman, oh. Gulat naman ako sa buwisit na to. Wala, bakit?
Growing up, I always thought of Barbara as a child star. I never thought about how hard it must have been for her afterwards.
Ba't ganito yung tunog? Happy birthday, Barbara. Ano yun? Ba't ganito yung tunog?
Of all the stories people wrote about Barbara's death, I'm surprised Edie saved this one.
Old Jack here with another ghastly tale inspired by America's most unfortunate family. I'm calling it The Surprise Ending of Barbara Finch. As a child star, Barbara was famous for her scream. Now at 16, she was all washed up. A has-been. But in a lucky break, she'd been asked to perform her signature scream at a local convention for monster movie fans. It was just the boost her career needed. Unfortunately, her scream hadn't aged well.
Getting better. I think you just need the right motivation.
Her biggest fan and current boyfriend, Rick, was about to demonstrate when...
Now that was a great scream.
It was Barbara's father, Sven. He'd slipped into a table saw and had to be rushed to the emergency room. So Barbara got stuck babysitting her youngest brother, Walter. Her convention comeback was cancelled.
Okay, I'm hearing frustration, but I'm not hearing terror. What if I tried...
A gang of hoodlums in Halloween masks have been terrorizing Orcas Island tonight. Police are urging residents to...
That came from the basement.
You're right! Also, I loved your delivery on that. Why is your basement door locked?
Because my dad likes making puzzles and secret passages. There's a key hidden in the music box. The secret is to keep winding and winding until finally the key pops out.
Thanks, babe. I'll be back in a sec.
Excuse.
20 minutes later, Rick hadn't returned. So Barbara went to look for him, right on cue. She reached for the music box.
Galawin ko to.
And as she wound the key, she listened for Rick, but the house was silent.
Wow, ang lupit ng comics. Patay si Rick.
She found Rick's crutch and imagined the worst.
Ano to? Nagbilyar gamit yung saklay. Patay.
The gang's leader is the infamous Hookman killer, Dr. Carl Hamill, who impaled and then ate his family 10 years ago tonight.
Ito yung ginagawa mo dyan. Ha?
The old fridge rattled and grew still.
Oh dear!
Tanga.
Barb, relax. I was just trying to scare you to help you find your scream.
Well, I'm not scared, Rick. I'm furious.
Then act furious. All I'm getting from you now is that you're hurt and confused and
She threw him out, but she kept a little something to remember him by.
Barb, have you seen my other crutch?
And she was still holding it when she fell asleep watching the late picture show. Hours later...
Barbara! Walter, what's going on up there?
Ano siya, ano? The ring.
Okay, I'm coming up, but if this is a trick, we're dead, Walter.
Link up sa dapat tayo. Saan dito? Anong bubuksa yun?
Walter.
Ay nako.
Walter vanished. His bedside radio was still on.
Orcas Island police describe the man as 6 feet tall, with a steel hook for a hand. Residents are urged to lock all doors and windows and notify the police of any suspicious activity.
Barbara turned, saw the hook man, and was speechless. He was quite smashing.
You know the way out of here.
That night, she played her part beautifully.
Ito naman kasi ito ang pangit. Dito?
She thought about abandoning Walter, but just couldn't do it. Molly's door hadn't been opened in years. The hinges groaned. He wasn't moving, but she sensed the story might not be over yet.
Talon. Rush B, Rush B. Wala na wala.
The hookman had vanished. She listened for his breathing, but all she heard was...
Yo, yo, yo.
was dying to speak to young Barbara. At the door, she heard whispering. It was coming from inside the house.
Wala ka, Dudong.
Oh dear.
The monsters had come to surprise her. For Barbara, it was a dream come
Grabe naman yun.
And she saw what kind of monsters they were, and she realized what was about to happen. She was going to be famous. And with her final breath, Barbara Finch gave the performance of her life.
Surprise!
Myself, but I hear Barbara.
Sana zombie na lang ako.
Had a taste for stardom. But unfortunately, so did her fans. Of course, the police blamed it all on poor Rick, who disappeared. Walter, hiding under his bed the whole time. He took it all pretty hard, but that's another story. As for Barbara, tucked inside the music box is all they ever found of her. Her ear. Now that's what I call a real eerie tale.
CD. Corny. Nanginginig na naman.
Edie told me all Barbara wanted was to be remembered, as absurd as that comic was. Maybe what Edie saw was a happy ending.
1944 to 1960. So, 16 years old. Pero 17 na sinabi.
I guess now I know why Mom didn't like me playing with the music box.
Tayo! Ay, lala, gabi na. Hindi ka ba nagugutom? Kanina ka pa nasa bahay.
I guess my grandpa didn't like history any more than my mom did.
Excuse.
How I Want to Remember My Brother by Sam Finch. The thing I remember is that when he made up his mind, that was it.
Ganda. Yo. Yo. Grabe, may semento pa yung paa.
My brother said he'd die before he ate another mushroom. And he did. At Barbara's funeral, he
Ano to,
swore
paglipat ko
he'd
dun,
never
tutok
be
ako
afraid
dun
of
sa
him.
ano,
And he wasn't.
sa
I
fence.
think Calvin always wanted to fly.
Ahilo. Bitaw, bitaw. Mukha mo, dinner.
But that day, he finally made up his mind to do it. I told him going around was impossible. Maybe if I hadn't said that,
Alvin, I'm not gonna tell you again.
maybe if the wind hadn't picked up, then maybe he'd still be here. But I doubt it. I think he'd already made up his mind. That's what I want to remember about my brother.
Titigil ko ba to? Tutuloy. Ala, tutuloy nga.
The day he made up his mind to fly. And he did.
Wow. Try ko nga rin yung sa duyan.
Calvin's story felt strangely familiar. When I was younger, I remember trying to do the exact same thing.
Ang gulo, 1937. Wait lang, wait. Uy! Sinara. Shh, shh, shh. Ang daming kandila.
After the funeral, Edie roped off Calvin's half of the room. Mom said Grandpa Sam enlisted at 18 and never set foot in the room again.
Saan ako dadaan? Ito? Puro kamatayan ang nandito.
It's funny. All those times I played with the music box and never found the basement key.
Basement?
One summer, they evacuated the island, but Edie refused to go. For a few weeks, she was a celebrity.
Kaya mo lumikas, sisikat ka.
I hadn't thought of myself as Edith Jr. for a long, long time. Edie gave a big interview about a mole man living under the Finch house. My mom was furious. Edie knit me a new pair of gloves every year, just in time to replace the old ones.
Bakit? Masa yung suot niyang... Saan dadaan? Yung kanina, baka doon babalik. Yung may labasan. Balik na naman. Tama ba?
I wonder if that comic was right about there being a key inside the music box near the basement.
Ito na kaya dito?
Maybe I should go check out that music box down by the basement.
Uy, gabi na uy. Ay, hindi. Madilim lang. Saan yung basement, pre?
A lot of things got left behind in the whirlwind of that last night.
Init.
My mom wasn't much of an optimist, but she never stopped believing that my brother Milton was alive.
Paano ako makapunta doon? Ang dilim-dilim naman.
If I keep winding the music box, maybe a key will pop out like it did in the comic book.
Saan yun?
My mom was the only one of us who could imagine Great Grandma Edie living in a nursing home. Even the fireplace had a story. Edie told me the bricks came from the original house after it sank.
So ito yung pinang ano. Ito. Ulat naman ako. Lah, kusang nagbukas. Sa may ilaw. Uy. Ang creepy naman ang bahay na ito. Kahit ako di ako pabalik sa bahay pag ganitong sitwasyon. Okay, maliwanag naman. May people. May bintana naman pala.
Mom said the basement was off limits, unless I wanted another tetanus shot.
Puro pintura.
I saw Edie sneak down to the basement once, carrying packages.
O ano ngayon? Kung makita. Saan ba yung daan? Ayun.
I thought maybe she was hiding presents.
Hagdan.
It turned out she was hiding a lot more than that.
Alam, may generator. Ano to? 30. 280. Ano to yung generator? May minahan.
I remember asking Mom once about where Walter had gone. She said after Barbara died, he got as far away as he could.
So, nahihilo na ako eh. Wow.
If there's a pattern in all these stories,
Parang pang
I think it's that
emergency.
none of us has gotten very far.
Ito Tamiya.
Goodbye, everyone. I can't believe I've been down here for 30 years.
Huh?
On that first day, after the shaking started, I didn't think I'd survive a week.
Lindol.
But after a few days,
May
I
ganito na
settled
pala.
into a routine. That's what kept me sane.
Kala ko yun, hindi ganun-ganun lang. Shush. May ganito na pala ng panahon na yun.
Having a schedule, living for
1968.
today.
November 15, no? So,
I always expected to be dead tomorrow. But if you wait long enough, you get used to anything.
1976. Ano, ito na naman. Social. Kung
Even a
masira
monster
yung pang-ikot
on the
mo,
other side of the door starts to feel
kiss-kiss mo
normal,
ngayon yun sa ano.
almost friendly. And then one day, everything just
March 25.
Stop. Whatever that thing was, it was gone. Maybe it got tired of waiting. Or maybe I just got tired of being afraid. It's been a week now, the longest in 30 years. I'm done waiting. I have to leave while I still can.
Yeah, but you still can. Kasi ang hilig mo kumain ng delata. Corny. Saan nadadaan? Ito. Bakit nawawalan ng oxygen dyan? Ang lalim mo na. Ang daming ganda. Cereal.
I know it's out there somewhere. Whatever killed Barbara and Molly
Puro halimaw.
and Calvin.
Umalis ka.
Maybe this is all a mistake. But I need to stop living the same day, even if it kills me.
Oh, may chuchu train.
Whatever's out there, I want you to know I'm ready for it.
Chuchu, tsaga-tsaga.
I'm going to appreciate all of it, especially the food. I don't mind if I only have a little left. Or a month. Or a single week.
Or a
I'd be
day.
happy with one new day.
Oo, di ba?
I can already imagine the sun.
Sabay, patay. Lo, nagpasagasa. 1950 to 2005.
Walter died when I was 6. I can't believe my mom never told me he was down here.
Si Sam na lang. 1, 8, 1, 2. Lapit tayo sa kalahati.
I'm sure my mom was trying to protect me.
Kailan natin kung masagasaan din tayo ng tren. Uy, buhat mo. Yung...
Maybe she was afraid I'd end up like Walter.
Siya na yung Gundam. Kukunin
But
niya
if
pa
she
rin.
never told me about an uncle under the house, I can only imagine what else she was hiding. I don't want to make the same mistakes she made. Trying to bury something that's still alive. Now that there's only one of us left,
Tabi ako
Or maybe
masagasaan tayong tren.
I thought it was time I heard the stories for myself and found out what happened to everyone else. But now I'm worried the stories themselves might be the problem. Maybe we believed so much in a family curse.
Kaputol na
We
yung
made it
release. Kaya pala may trend dito. Mahilig ka mag-trend-trend chuchu. Tatalon tayo. Ay, bawal.
I don't know if I should even be writing this.
Ganito. Kahit luma na yung laro.
Maybe it'd be better if all this just died with me.
Oh, excuse me.
But I thought you should know about your family.
Ito, solar. Kunin ko na yan. Kailangan ko yan.
And the history you're a part of.
Pangit naman ng tubig na to. Pixelized.
Though to be honest, I feel as lost as you probably do right now.
Pero ang ganda naman naman. Pa-ultra naman.
I think the people in these stories believed them, for what that's worth.
Motion sensor. May ganito na. Kailan nilagay ito? 2000 ano to eh. Okay, sige. Kasi luma yung ano eh. Baka late na nilagay yan. 19 something wala pang ganyan.
And when you look at the house, that history of imagination and stubbornness and madness, any of it seems possible. I think we've been surrounded by death for so long, we've just gotten used to it. What kind of family finishes building a cemetery before starting the house?
Oh, okay.
It's embarrassing for me to admit this, but the pet cemetery made me more uncomfortable than the human one. 3 of the gerbils were mine, and 2 had been my fault.
Puro aso-aso. Shadow, Oliver. Shachi. Sabi may lumabas na aso.
Sven built the house, but it was Edith who designed the cemetery.
Star. Oh. Ito na si Boytren. Molika.
I'm sure Odin's monument
Putik,
had
kala
been
ko
Edith's
tao.
idea. My mom was always trying to move on, but for Edith, the past never went away.
Lapit na.
She could see it poking out of the water at low tide.
Bawal tumalon. Silip tayo. Labo. Yun.
Edith said she dreamed about the old house every night.
Ito yung snail. Yung nawasak kanina. Tapos, ano babalik ako? Silip tayo pabalik.
Edith's side was always easier for me to understand.
Okay.
But the older I get, the more I can see where my mom was coming from. Her dad had been pretty strict, but it wasn't enough to save her brothers. She was just trying to do better. She lost 2 of her brothers, just like I did. I get why she tried so hard to protect us.
Grabe. Kumar. Harold and Kumar.
There's so many things I wish I could ask my mom now. Part of me thinks this is what she wanted all along. For me to come back someday and find everything out for myself.
Kaya, ngayon yung gloves na gawa ni Barbara ba yun? Ano, magiging pusa ka na rin?
But looking back on it now, if she told me there was going to be so much climbing, I never would have come when I was 22 weeks pregnant.
Ha? Buntis ka, asa may anak ka na ngayon. Talon. Napuputol to. 3, 2, 1. Social ah. Ceiling window. Huh. Ano, saan yung taakyatan? Ah, ayun.
I never met Grandpa Sam, but I think he and my mom had a lot in common.
Luluha yung mata ko. Oo. Pag gumalaw yung oso,
They were both pretty intense.
gagalaw, gagalaw. Tapakan mo. Yan, ano ka.
Sam spent his life shooting photos, but Mom said he got nervous being in front of the camera. I guess we're all afraid of something.
Anxiety. Conscious sa mukha. Uy. Saan mo? Wow, mirror shot. Oh, huwag naman ganyang kalapit.
Dawn, I promise, you'll never forget this weekend.
Yes, sir.
These memories are gonna last a lifetime.
Am I gonna have to shoot anything?
Sakit
It's a
sa
hunting
mata.
trip, Dawn. Shooting is strongly encouraged.
Propane.
Shouldn't we be leaving?
Just want to get a shot of you, Dawn, then we can take off.
Fire in the hole. Oh.
I'm over here,
flashbang
Dad.
out. Naku, lilingon ni ayaw lumingon.
Just need to get a shot of you, Dawn, then we can hit the road.
Uy, ano lilingon? Ah, ayun.
What?
Diyos ko naman.
Perfect.
Yan, kala ko nakakatabi.
It's gonna rain the whole weekend, isn't it? Please just take the damn picture.
Hey, language.
I will never forget this weekend, Dad.
That's the spirit. Smile, Dawn. Okay, got it.
I'm gonna take some pictures, okay?
Just be careful. The camera's older than you are.
Wow.
You're right, Dad. It's starting to clear up. Still freezing, though.
Ano, pipicture ang pa ayun.
Aw.
Excuse me. Baka meron pa dito.
Definitely should not have drunk all that coffee.
Ayan, picture mo.
Hold still while I take a picture of you.
Hey!
That's a keeper.
I'm just saying, I'm not always gonna be here, Dawn. You'll need to remember this stuff if you want to survive.
I'll be fine, Dad.
You know who else thought he was gonna be fine?
Some guy who died.
Dawn, I'm being serious.
I know, Dad. You're always serious. Doesn't being out here make you want to chill out?
Well, to tell you the truth, I haven't been out here in 20 years.
Ganda nito ah.
Last time I was with my brother Calvin. Man, that was a great trip. Your grandpa Sven taught us how to fish, how to build a fire. We found an
Sniper.
old logging trail. There were deer everywhere.
Ganda ng tugtog.
I bet if I could remember where that trail was, we'd spot a buck for you in no time. Give me a minute to check the map. Don, don't you think you could find something more interesting to photograph?
Alam, gusto mong picturean ko.
Let's see.
Dad!
Good eyes, Don. Before you take the shot, let me get a picture of it.
Dad,
Just breathe. Turn off your imagination. Focus on your target. Let me get behind it.
Do I have to do this?
Don, you don't have to do anything. But if you want to survive, you'll need to be strong. Now keep yourself squared up, elbows down, like we practiced. Whenever you're ready.
Ang babarilin niya. Ah, ano
Great
ba yan?
shot, Don!
Pag kinlik ko, tsaka pumutok po sa kakagulan.
I'm proud of you, Don. Always remember that, okay?
Ako yung gagalaw nun.
Sorry, Don. Just gotta reset the timer.
Nag-crash. Nag-crash. So, ayan.
I'm proud of you, Don.
Recording na ba?
Always remember that, okay?
Okay.
Sorry, Don. Just gotta reset the timer.
Ano yung kinakain dun?
Dad, it's twitching. I think
That's
it's
totally normal, Don. Just focus on the camera. Try not to think about...
Dad!
Shit. Kaya ka namatay.
Of all these stories, that's the one I wish most that my mom had told me.
Pwede mo. Wait lang mamaya.
Instead of hiding from death, Sam seemed to go out of his way to meet it.
Okay. Baba tuloy FPS. Na-record kasi. Ano na to? Generator. Error. Error ko nata ito eh. Open. Vents.
After Sam died, my mom and Edie got really close. They'd both lost a lot.
Uy. Ayun. Diyos ko naman. Salamat. Save na. Kanina kasi nag-crash eh. Ito yung 76, 1976.
Dear Kay, do you remember the way Gregory used to laugh when he thought he was alone? Like something funny was happening, but only he could see it.
Ano siya, baliw?
I think he saw things the rest of us don't.
Oh. Kanta rin ako nun. Kainin mo yung palaka. Bakit? Ba't gumanon yung tunog? Oh shit, gumagalaw.
Hand over, Gregory. It's time to... Hold on, sweetie. Hello? Sam, I told you I don't want to talk right now.
Sunod kayo.
I wonder what he saw. What his world was like. It reminded me so much of Calvin. Lost in his imagination. Whatever it was, he saw.
Anong gagawin?
Sure made him happy.
Oh. Ayaw. Oh. Hirap naman na ito. Saan yung palaka ko?
I know how silly it sounds. But I worried about a baby being too happy. But I could feel him slipping away.
Sorry about that, Gregory.
I know you did everything you could.
fine. I don't want Gregory to hear this.
The number you dial is currently unavailable. Ano gagawin?
I wish he could have told us
Tigas ng ulo.
about the world he saw.
Ay, nalunod.
Understand about Gregory.
Naging
About
palaka.
everything.
Gregory. Ano kasi
But I know what
manunod?
happened
Saan yung
wasn't
bata?
their fault.
Saan yung bata? Hindi makita. Nalunod yung bata. Napapasa.
He'd want you to be happy too.
Nalunod.
Good luck, Kay. Love, Sam.
One, two, three, four, five, six. Ilan na lang? 1, 2, 3. 5 na lang. Uy. Grabe naman yun.
I can't imagine my mom ever writing poetry, and yet
Ito panibago.
A poem for Gus, who always said the wedding was a bad idea. Our father never hit us kids, at least not very
Sabi na
hard,
sarang
before the
huli.
day my brother said with teenage disregard that he'd be dead before he'd see a wedding in our yard. My father made him come, of course, but Gus stood far apart, just flew his kite and bottled up the storm inside his heart. I tried to talk him out of it, but though he'd never met her, "We don't need a stepmom," were the words
I
that
now pronounce you husband and wife. You may kiss the bride.
May kiss the bride daw. Saan na yung susunod? Ayun.
When the time for photos came, Dad ordered him to come here. But Gus declined, and as a sign held up his middle finger. The wind picked up, and panicked geese appeared and quickly went. But all the humans did that day was go inside the tent.
Wala na.
The rain came down in buckets then, but no one seemed afraid that nature might destroy the tent our dad had crudely made.
Wala sumabit. Saan? Ayun na.
The thunder sounded much too close and full of angry power. But all my father said to this was, "Make the music louder."
Na. Saan ko dadalhin? Ayun. Kailangan pala ipasok doon. Pusang dalan eh.
I wish that I could truly say I thought about you on that day. Out there on the beach alone, just you, the wind, the sea, and foam. But I didn't. Until we found you.
Pala'y kinamatay.
She never talked about him, but Mom told me once if I was a boy, they were going to name me Gus.
Tatlo na lang. Ito, naka-wood glue. Oh.
My mom
Panis.
moved up to the loft after her brothers died. At the time, it was as far away as she could get.
Wait lang, pause ko muna. Sino to? Pause ko muna. Recording.
She spent a summer building houses in Calcutta, where she met my dad, Sanjay.
Sanjay ng buhay mo.
Religion was another thing my mom never talked about, but I think it helped her a lot after her dad died.
Ano camera? Ano to? Oh, pole dancing. Yummy, dami. Oh. Saan ako? Dami yo. Suki kara. Suki te. Saan ako dadaan? Ba't ito wala? Ano ba yan? Ito. Emergency evacuation plan. You are here. Wow, laki naman ng bahay mo para magkaganyan. Gas. Ito. Silip. Tama ba? Brrrr. Brum! Boom! Paano naman saan pwedeng dumaan? Pabalik ako. Saan ako dadaan? Nakatamad maglakad ng matagal. clue naman dyan, oh. Ting clue lang. Tas ganda. Ano to? Car 9. Car 98. Boom! Nakapos ko muna. Recording? Recording. So, chinek ko kanina. Ikot-ikot lang ako dito. Mali pinuntahan ko. Recording ba? Rolling. Kailangan ko rin matapos to agad. Kasi 4 gig na. Oy! Balik! Diyos ko naman. Saving. Bilis! It's staying like... Boo! Saan na? Nawala ako. Yun. Tugtugsh. So nakakabaliw yung gameplay. So, ayun. Tanga-tanga ko. Tulong pala
My mom
katabi
moved to
ko.
India a week after graduation and got a job teaching English. Lewis was born a year later. When my dad died, I don't think Mom knew where else to go. I'm sure Edie was happy to have her back. The house had to get a little bigger, but Edie was used to that. And for a while, things were good. Almost normal. But it didn't last.
Pusang gala. Naalala ko tong scientific methods. Observation. Question. Pero alam ko yung number 2 iba sa amin. Hindi siya question. Yung number 3 iba. Number 3 gathering data. Okay, pa. Tas yung 6 evaluation, parang evaluation tas conclusion. Ewan na ni-stress ako. Uy,
Beginning at the
pre.
end was Milton's 10th birthday, when Edie gave him a castle.
Ito ba yung tok-tok? Hindi yun yung tok-tok. Doon ako dadaan mamaya. Para di na maligaw. Saan ba yung daan? Ba social ah. Walang kalawang yung bintana. Ano to? Ganda. Ganda ng scale model. Nasa cutting mat pa. Wow.
Milton Finch in The Magic Paintbrush.
Grabe nung pamilyang to, mahilig mag-diary. Paano buksan? Ayun. Bakalan. Ben, bitawan. Atyo. Sino to? Lo, nabitawan. Ay, ba yan? Atyo. Tsaga naman na ito. Mukhang edits. Wala bumukas. Pansin ko yung dulo, parang
I was
minamadali
following
na
until he
nila.
disappeared.
So, si Eddie at Louis na lang. So, yung ganda pa naman ng drawing. Oh. Monochromatic. Monochrome. Ito pa. Ito, America.
Mom spent months searching for my brother. Then she sealed the doors. Whatever Milton had found in the house, Mom didn't want it getting out. Mom definitely blamed Edie, but I think Louis blamed himself. After he graduated, he just spent more and more time in his room. Until Mom got him a job at the cannery.
So, dito muna ako. Ganda rin yung concept na nilalagyan nila ng subtitle para alam kung saan pupunta. Ay, nako. Wow. Ito yate. Speedboat. Saving. Yung pinakataas siguro yung kay Edith.
Lewis's room smelled
Oh,
very, very familiar. That part of him lived on.
Parang kwarto ko lang pa. PS1.
Louis and I spent a lot of time playing
Hindi.
games together, but he was
Son.
surprisingly bad at them. He died a lot.
Di bala ko. High school diploma. She just got the letter. She's got the letter. She's got the letter. No Blue's Clues.
Dear Mrs. Finch, as Lewis's psychiatrist, I can understand your desire for an explanation. As I see it, the trouble began in January, shortly after we convinced your son to seek treatment for substance abuse.
Shit.
Newly sober, I believe Lewis first noticed the monotony of his daily life.
May hiwa to.
He kept working at the cannery,
Bangus.
but he withdrew half himself.
The leg. The leg.
In our sessions, I saw the same behavior. His mind began to...
Ano to? Nangyari? His mind began to ano?
wander. I asked him to describe it. He said he started small. Imagining a
feeling ko
labyrinth.
mapuputol yung kamay ko dito.
He'd feel his way about. Then something moved. Bats. And toads. And things that have not names. He knew it was all in his head. But he took it very seriously. I had hoped he'd find himself. But he found something more. I worried about him then. Daydreaming at the cannery. I spoke with his boss. But he said Lewis had become a model employee. Methodical, tireless, focused. Like a whole new Lewis.
Naubos na.
So I let him go on. I even encouraged him. It seemed very promising at first.
At tingin ka bang palaki ng palaki yung nakikita niya? Matatakpan yung kamay tapos ipuputol. Tama ba?
He told me he'd made a new friend.
May dog-dog. Malaki na yung mapa.
On the edge of a city he named Lewis Topia.
Kulot naman ako dun.
He built the city up slowly, brick by brick. Then he made musicians.
Hindi naman natata.
And songs for them to play. He talked about starting a band. And he was always humming something.
Kung MWSD ko ito, kinokontrol ko rin yung kamay. Here.
Every day his imagination grew stronger.
Parang sana yan.
He no longer spoke at the cannery.
Saan dadaan?
But his
Tataba
chopping
naman
was
ang
as
mga to.
reliable as ever. Then one day it struck him that all the cheering crowds, even the stones under his feet,
Ito ginawa lang to para di boring eh.
were all in his imagination. So he could
Wala
do
din na
whatever he wished.
natatakpan.
He held an election for mayor. And he won.
Ano to, Mario?
They begged him to stay, but his mind was already wandering. It became a game for him. He'd conquer a city, then immediately push on. New Louisville. St. Louis. He started drifting away from our reality.
Ito, harang naman tong bangus na to.
Minneapolis. Until one day he forgot to go home from the cannery. Even as his mother pleaded with him, part of Lewis kept sailing on.
Ano nga gawin? Sinisermo na siya, wala pa rin pakialam. Ay!
In Lewisburg, he heard rumors of a
Ano to, bading? Ba't parang baliktad?
beautiful prince.
Ano to? Ano to? Depende sa ending. Ano pag dumanaw sa kabila? Parehas lang kayo.
The prince was on his own quest for
Bawal. Sinister serpents.
sinister serpents.
Oy, ako yan. Ba't pala rainbow na lang?
He followed the sound of his
Silver harp.
silver harp.
Uy, daanan mo yun. Parang ito yung alarm clock pag umaga. Ten, 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 ten.
His chase led him to a golden palace east of the sun and west of the moon. Even then, his logic remained sound.
Puputol na.
He
Ano
knew the world
makita?
was all in his imagination.
Wala na. Mo
But he
sinaran.
was so proud of having created it.
Oo.
In his own eyes, he'd become something greater than a king.
Dapat slow mo. Huya. Pero
For
dapat ka
someone who'd never
nag-heal.
known success in the real world, I think it was overwhelming.
Ito yung pag tinanong ka ng teacher mo ano yung alamat
And
ng
then it
bangus,
struck
ito
him
yan.
that the real Lewis was not the one chopping salmon, but the one climbing the steps of a golden
Huwag
palace.
bangus yung salmonella. Ito yung pakain nila sa pusa kanina.
My imagination is as real as my body, he told me. It was hard to argue with him.
Tapos na mag-chop-chop. Di ba dito? Shoo! Shoo!
We began to forget the world we know.
Pinadali nila yung iba, tapos ito matagal na.
I think it
Brown
pained him to
cannery.
remember Lewis, the cannery
Sarap po.
worker.
Tapos pagkain na ng isda. Ito, double dead.
He began to despise the man with a royal contempt.
So third person to. Ano gawin ko? Nabaliw na.
I still thought I could save him.
Nabaliw na
Even after he
kakaganon.
said he was being crowned king over all the lands of wonder.
Wow.
The palace would be packed with his companions.
Transition. Oh, naka-vocalator. Babay ka. Babay ka.
Including the wise Calico who'd insisted on inviting him.
Dapat nagsisave sila dito eh. Kasi pag nag-crash yun, wala na. Ulitin mo lahat, napakatagal. Rolling. Slenderman, walang mukha.
His prince waiting, holding his crown.
Maganda pag sa gitna, yung corny naman na ito.
There was only one thing left to do.
Bakit naman dito? Wow. Hindi, pangit yan. Madumi yan, may germs. Dapat sa carpet ka lang.
Bend down his head.
Ano? Bend down his head. Di kagi, kilotin to eh. Kilotin to, kagi. Uy, pugot.
And the rest I think you know. Mrs. Finch, your son was a kind man who will be missed by all of us who knew him.
Kilotin to eh.
My brother was really
Tumalon
cool.
sa ano.
I wish you could have met him.
Ito nagpakamatay si Edith na lang natira. Hmm. 1917, 2010. Yan, saving.
He was so proud of being Indian. I think for him, it was a way to be something other than just a Finch.
Okay. Peke, wala pa namang merong ilaw. Peke yung kulay nasa dahon, hindi siya ilaw talaga. Paano ko akyat? Andar kaya to? Upo ba dito? Ah, doon. Okay. Last.
On the way back from Lewis's funeral, my mom told me to start packing. She waited until the day before we left to tell Edie. I'm not sure if she wanted to make it easier or harder.
Pag malapit lang siya mukhang pixelized. 2014 ata itong laro na to.
I wish we'd stayed. But I understand why we left.
Chopping board. Mali pa yung 5. Pang CR. Tas kusina. Oh. Dapat gooseneck yan.
My mom ended up leaving everything behind. What happened that night had been coming for a long time. Maybe it should have come sooner.
Iniwan nila. Edith. Ito yung nasa pinakataas.
But it had to end one way or
Bahay mo.
another. All that's left now is to
Lamig.
tell you about that last night.
Nakayuko ka ba? May pluma pa. Huh? Pluma. Ilang laman.
That whole last day, Edie just watched us pack and didn't say a word. Until supper, when she raised her glass and said,
"To our final
Cheers.
night together, and all our final nights apart."
Grandma, you know what I said about alcohol. Some of your medications are very
Edith,
specific.
I left a present for you in the hallway. Why don't you go open it? The grown-ups have to argue now.
I'm sorry, you're right. We're all leaving tomorrow. Let's just enjoy our last...
I'm not leaving.
Edith, you're excused.
Ako si Edith.
the power had been shut off that morning, but Edie always had plenty of candles. When my mom sealed the library, I don't think she knew about the other entrance.
Sunog? Hindi naman kasunog to. Masusunog yung bahay. Ano ba yung ganun?
Or that Edie had a key to it.
Sa entrance, yung daanan.
That thing you're afraid of isn't going to end when you leave the house. Edith has a right to know these stories.
My children are dead because of your story. I think it's best if Edith and I leave tonight.
Sinisisi si Lola.
We'll have the nursing home send a van for you in the morning. Okay?
Dear Edith, there's so many stories I wish I could tell you.
Lola
There's
niya.
only time
Tama
for
ba?
one. This is about what happened on the night you were born. That night, the tide went way, way out. It was the first and last time I ever saw the old house aground. There'd been an earthquake out in the middle of the ocean. They called it the lowest tide in 1,000 years. God, it smelled awful. You know, I've seen that house every day of my life. But I never thought I'd go back to it.
Gusto ko na yung story kanina. Parang sobrang boring.
When the fog rolled in, I lost my way.
Naligaw si Lola.
I got turned around.
Turn around. Every now and then I can't leave there.
I started seeing things.
Uy, may usa. Kanina. Sundan yan. Nakamog.
Things I'd forgotten had ever existed. But when I saw them, they felt like old friends. That night, a lot of things came back to me. Or maybe I came back to them.
Pinto-pinto ta. Pwede naman dun, oh.
Things I can't explain, but that I need you to try and...
Edith, what are you doing in here?
It's mine.
Edith!
Mom, you're gonna rip it. Let go.
I kicked and screamed, but Mom dragged me to the car. I never saw Great Grandma Edie again. The next morning, the band came to pick her up, but she was already gone. After that, we moved around a lot.
Mag-isa na lang si Lola.
We both tried to make the best of it. few years went by.
Ano tawag dito?
My mom didn't like to talk about it,
Ano tawag sa
but
ganito?
she started getting sick a lot. The rest happened pretty quickly. She got better for a while, and then she didn't.
Wala na.
And then I was alone. The last Finch left alive.
Was me.
Until I found out about you. I'm still not sure what to tell you about all this. If we lived forever, maybe we'd have time to understand things. But as it is, I think the best we can do is try to open our eyes. And appreciate how strange and brief all of this is. This journal was supposed to be for you. But now I hope you'll never see it. I just want to meet you and tell you all these stories myself. But I guess if you're reading this now,
Ganda ng story.
things didn't work out that way.
May mga part lang na magulo. Unlike dun yung sa pusa
This is where your story begins. I'm sorry I won't be there to see it. It's a lot to ask, but I don't want you to be sad that I'm gone. I want you to be amazed that any of us ever had a chance to be here at all. Good luck.
Ganda, ganda. Ganda, ganda. Ganda ng story Shirley Dallas, 1948. Shirley Dallas, sino? Yung baby picture yung ginamit. Baby pics yung ginamit sa credits. Kung sa akin siguro yun ang pangit ng picture. So, yun. Goods yung story. Gusto kong tumayo na Kasama kami after story pa. Rinig pa yung exits. Sakit na sa ulo yung headset. Yung level. Peach. Na talaga ka horror eh. Grabe naman pader to, napakataas. Kanina pa bumababa. Ay, sila rin gumawa nun. Okay. So, yan. Trip yung story. Ayan na yan. Okay naman. End ko na.